So first,
Absolutely.
and I was
Let's dig it all up.
oh, no.
True.
You'll never guess.
So, sidebar. Yes.
And also, I feel like I shouldn't have to remember everything.
I know.
Actually, I have to talk about this.
3, 2, 1.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
I'm Alicia.
And I'm Meredith.
And this is Also Podcast. We have a very special edition. It's our Traitors edition. Because, of course, we watched every single episode. Even though some episodes were a little more boring than others. The gameplay was fantastic. We'll get into it. But I have a lot of opinions on this season.
Where would you rank this within the other seasons? Or, like, what would you rank it out of maybe, like, 5 stars?
Okay. I am a big entertainment person as well as gameplay. I, though, love the entertainment of this. So I still think, what was this, season 4? I think season 3 was my favorite to watch.
Yeah.
Season 2 and 4, I feel like maybe 4 then 2. Last season, I just had so much fun with it.
I agree.
This season, I had a little less fun, but I think the gameplay was better. But it wasn't as chaotic, and so I'm an agent of chaos.
Yeah, we had talked before.
What do you think?
I agree with that. We had talked before that, this season got a little boring for us because, it was lacking that entertainment value. I think with other strategy shows, Survivor, Big Brother, The Challenge, like, I'm truly there for, like, the strategy and the gameplay, and this one crosses over my worlds of, like you said, entertainment with the housewives and all the Bravo characters and all of these people. And then there is strategy that you're right. Like, it also has this, like, movie quality with them being, like, at a house in Scotland. Like, I miss them wearing Scottish outfits in plaid.
Yeah.
Like, lean into it. Like, there was a lot of that entertainment missing. And, the gameplay was good. So, I agree with that fully.
Yeah, after, like, sitting on it, too, I think if this was normies, I'm in it mainly for the gameplay, like I am Big Brother Survivor type of thing, because like I don't know or expect anything out of them.
Very
and so
good
like
point.
normies play the game and let's see it. But this, like, you give me a housewife, you give me someone from Big Brother, you give me someone from Survivor, you give me someone from the channel. Like, it's like almost like the entertainment value of House of Villains. I need that with the strategy. So then when it does get boring, I'm like, oh, it could have been so good. Because it starts really strong because you have all of these big personalities and it's funny. And there weren't any like good quips, I feel like. Right? Remember season 2? Not Atkins Sue. Like, we still quote
My
that.
Burgalicious.
My Burgalicious. Like, there wasn't any of like that.
You're right.
Well, I'm fucking Lisa Rinna, but that could go.
But that was just Lisa Rinna. That wasn't like a Traitors moment. It was Lisa Rinna, like, being Lisa Rinna.
Yeah, I think, that's just me. But it was a good season overall.
Yeah.
Before we get into the whole entire season, check us out on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Patreon. All the links are in our description. And please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe. Okay, where to start? I guess when we enter the castle.
Yeah. We already knew the cast from the moment they went to film, which was wild.
We did a draft.
We also did,
a draft. Traitors is really hard to draft for because it's just a bunch of morons that you're like, which can be the best moron in the group.
I didn't tell you that this was my strategy, but my strategy was to find the, like, dumb people, like the people who would be the floaters who were carried like along, which is so funny that you had Maura because
she was my
a
floater.
Classic one.
No, I think that makes sense. I think for Traitors there is really no strategy because you don't know who's going to be the traitor.
That's a good point.
And I think the game players we've learned now normally are targeted first. So that's the unfortunate, which is sad because I really like the game players. And I think if you have a good game player, they can maybe figure it out. But after season 3, I think just like the bigger the idiot, the better the pick.
Agreed.
Which I think the idiots were spread evenly amongst the 3 teams we had.
I know.
A little bit.
Yeah, so if you're not part of the Patreon, we drafted the players, and it was a Patreon exclusive episode. And we drafted the Patreon's team first because we this is our, like, second draft and the first time adding in the Patreon. We're trying to figure out how to do this. And I actually have an idea for later drafts. I'll tell you at a different time. But it was hard. So we drafted the Patreon team first.
Which
and
I think
they got a
was
lot
good.
of the good gamers that we were excited about.
I know. I'm so annoyed.
But their team quickly faltered. And then...
Oh my God, terrible.
They were
terrible.
like, you hate the Patreon, and it was like, this was truly a random draw
random.
for
it was
them.
totally random. No, and then we just picked it with who was left, which remember we were like, there's not much, like, it's all kind of like our scrubs a little bit.
Yeah.
But like, overall, I think I would say all three teams were like pretty even because that's just...
I agree.
The traitors. There's no like, we did it with Dancing with the Stars, and I think that's hard because there's this outside element of like America voting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all about like the partnerships. Like sometimes your partners just aren't going to be good. This is anyone's game. This is just.
Truly. And again, it really matters who the traitors are. So we hit episode 1. And immediately there's a new twist. We have the secret traitor being chosen, and they are all shown like a box. What'd you think of that twist?
Hated it. Especially because it didn't amount to anything anyway.
That. I was so excited to be like, oh my God, if this lasts over like 5-6 episodes, like I want to guess who it is. Like I literally started a list of all the players' names, trying to figure out who it was. And then it was like out by episode 3, which was the first set of episodes dropped, like night 1 of Traitors. We already knew.
We lost, yeah.
So that was frustrating.
Anyway, yeah, we find the traitors.
We find out the secret traitor. We do this challenge coffin hunt. And then the traitors are chosen. And we get Rob Rausch, who will be Rob R until Rob's sister Nina goes. And then Candace Dillard-Bassett and Lisa Rinna. What did you think about those traitors?
I liked it being 2 housewives because I feel like similar to the gamers, for some reason, the housewives always get targeted, which I think is crazy. But I thought, like, okay, if they get one of the housewives, the other one could probably make it a little further.
Same.
So I liked that. I found it interesting that there were 0 gamers in the traitors.
That's the strategy of it, though, because for a while there would be like, oh, this is the like format that they're using. You know, there's
that was
always
my strategy.
A mix of guys and girls, and there's always at least one gamer and one housewife. Like I like that they really like fucked with the picking.
Yeah, and then when Rob was picked, I thought that's a good one. I mean, just watching it from Love Island, and we've discussed this before because it has come up again after Traitors, but I think there's a very big difference between the fan base of Love Island of people who watch Bravo and people who don't. Yeah. Because as soon as Rob got picked, I was like, oh yeah, he's like a sneaky boy. Like, I was like, he's just a sneaky... No offense to Rob, but probably like a lying, sneaky white boy. Like, yeah. I saw him screw over Leah, and I was like, yeah, he could be manipulative and conniving, and like that. Rob can do that in a way that then makes the general public feel bad for him, which would, in this case, be the castle, because half of the fans of Love Island were like, oh, poor Rob, and I was like, what are we talking about, poor Rob? You know, so I was like, that's a good one because he can kind of, I think, garter sympathy from people for doing nothing but being poor Rob. You know what I mean?
I didn't really think he would be a great traitor.
Oh, I thought he'd be good.
I was like, oh my God, who's gonna really lead this strategy? Like without a gamer in that turret, like who's gonna think 10 steps ahead? So Rob really did surprise me.
I think he has it in him. I didn't feel, I hate though later down the line when Rob is like, oh, I feel bad for lying. I was like, shut the fuck up and do your job. Like, that's when I was like, I'm going to kill Rob, honestly. Just shut up.
He's like, it's weighing on me. Shut up. Just do the game.
Then quit and go home.
I appreciate
don't want to hear it.
Post-game stuff, he's not.
No.
He's like, this isn't
God.
Like, he does understand that. And, like, most people do, too, thankfully.
No, thank God. Because, Lisa and Candace didn't give a shit. They were like, we're here.
No.
Lisa said what? And Andy corrected her. But, like, she made a career being a villain for 8 years. Like, she's like, I'm ready to show up. It's just a game. It's just a game. And you can have hard feelings towards the game, but you have to move on.
Yeah. Okay, one last thing before we move on to episode 2 is, do you think that Rob got advice from Aaron? And for those who don't know the Love Island world, Rob was on Love Island USA season 6, and there was a guy named Aaron who was from the UK who was on that season. He actually started on Traitors UK and won his season.
He won as a traitor, right?
Yeah, and he was an amazing traitor. He did honestly even better than Rob because he played like truly so aggressively faithful that he was like crying at the round table when anybody would bring him up.
Nice.
He was like, he did so
That's
well.
what I want.
He was really manipulative.
Maybe Rob got some advice. I think here's the thing, right? Like, and we need to like relook at this in probably worldwide, but specifically in the United States where I live. There's something about like a cute, attractive little like white boy. What did Michael Rappaport say? The hunks. There's something about the hunks that everyone's like, oh my God, they're so cute and I love them so much. No, come on. We cannot blindly follow these attractive men. And I think that's the thing. And now I see obviously it's different watching the show, but on TikTok, the girls are like, I watched Love Island. I would have gotten Rob out immediately. And I was like, if anything for hurting Leah, I'd be like, Rob, I just can't get it out of my head. But there's something, and Aaron has that quality too, where it's like a cute little, just like white boy who just like, you just love so much because he's so cute. Like Dorinda was fawning over Rob. I was like,
who wasn't fawning over Rob?
I get it. He's so hot. But there's that thing. If you have that quality, I think it worked well for Rob. I think it probably worked well for Aaron. Like, there's something endearing about it, and Rob played it perfectly, I think.
Very true.
Almost. He wasn't, like, the most aggressive. I would have loved to see him a little more aggressive, but he won, so, like, I can't even fault his game. But as someone who wants entertainment, that's what I was like. Just a little more, yeah.
Well, then we get into episode 2, and we left off with them, like, having to murder their first person, and Terry is murdered. We also get the challenge where 3 people are, like, sat on thrones and could be, like, booted off. And the last one's, like, received shields. And then by the end of the episode, Portia Williams is banished because she said, like, a sketchy phrase of, like, when we murdered Ian.
Okay, first of all, R.I.P. Ian.
Oh,
R.I.P. Ian. That's
he
so
went down
sad.
so early.
Oh, Ian, I love him so much. Anyway, yeah, so that challenge meant very little to me. All that was notable was Donna wasn't there. I was like, she's missing.
I forgot about that. And then
she's missing.
Also Colton like fighting the girls for the spot onto the thrones. This is when the Colton hate started super early, like rightfully so.
Can we say from the beginning, fuck Colton. I've always hated, I do mix up my Bachelor people because I don't watch. So when Colton was first announced, I had no idea who he was. But then someone was like, this is the guy that stalked his ex. I was like, oh my God, I know who Colton is and I hate him.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know his season, he went on The Bachelor. He was one of those former NFL players who maybe played on a practice team for a game, which is a huge accomplishment. But that I hate when they tout that on The Bachelor. And then he had a whole season, and by the end, the girl he liked the most, her dad was like, what are we doing here? So they kind of talked and pulled her from the season. He jumps a fence because he's so upset and walks off. Ends up with her, but they're just dating. They don't do the whole proposal thing, whatever. Their relationship continues, and into the beginning of COVID, they're on the rocks or they break up, and he starts stalking her. He has fake phone numbers, and he's texting her from, threatening things. He's texting himself from these fake phone numbers, keep the ruse up. He's putting trackers on her car. It went to court. She sued him civilly, I believe, and it cost her so much money, she had to settle with him. And I will give him this benefit of the doubt. I mean, this is for his benefit. But in their settlement, they cannot talk about it. So, legally, he cannot talk about it much. But what bothers me is then don't talk about it at all. Don't go on magazines and talk about it and, skirt the line. If you won't address it at the reunion, don't address it in a magazine cover. Stop with this comeback tour. Get the fuck off my screen.
Also, all this happened, and then I know he couldn't talk about it, but he then was like, don't worry about me now, guys, because I'm gay. And everyone was like,
yes.
Okay, yeah, so he used his queerness.
Yes.
Yeah, to be like, I'm not going to stalk any more girls now because I'm into boys. And it was such a thing where then, and I say this as someone who's discussed a lot of things with you, it's like the Brittany Cartwright effect where you can't say anything towards him or he'll be like, you're homophobic. So no, you're a creepy stalker. And then he'd be like, you're being homophobic.
It's weirder that you are gay and did
weird.
This. That
so
doesn't
weird.
Clear it for me. You have the ability and power, and you have chosen to do that, to stalk someone. I don't care if you're gay, straight, if you're anything. I find that weird.
And then if anyone says they don't like you, you can't be like, but I'm gay. You have to like me. No, I don't. I don't have to like you. You fucking loser. Anyway,
I'm so
sorry.
disappointed in the casting team for bringing him on, because like as the cast didn't know any of this when they were in the castle,
which is fair. Who like the fuck's watching The Bachelor? No
but
offense.
That's kind of scary to be like, this like stalker creepy guy is in a house with me and I don't know anything about him. Like my safety should matter.
He played quite aggressively. Not that that matters, but a part of me was like, calm down over there. We already know you have like anger issues. Calm down.
Oh my God, I know. You think he would actually like use the ability to like get on these shows to like reinvent himself and like make his image better, but
it
like,
makes him worse.
It's showing his true colors. Like, this is who he is.
Yeah,
you being gay doesn't change how insane you are.
Yeah, he tried. He's a gay Christian or whatever that whole thing was. Yeah, suck my dick.
Well, I think he might have been a virgin.
Oh, you're right.
Was he the virgin bachelor?
Oh my God, you might be right. I don't know. I don't watch.
I can't remember. No. But they always have something about them.
He's Christian too. He has to be. Everyone on that show talks about how Christian they are.
You're right.
He's Christian, gay, and a virgin. Yeah,
and a stalker.
And a stalker.
But anyways,
let us not forget. Anyway, okay, this is where the hate started, and we love some hate.
What'd you think about that Portia banishment?
Oh, I felt bad for Portia. She did it to herself because this early, you cannot slip up even a little, okay?
I know.
You can't, which, can I say though, this is the dumbest traitor season for the faithfuls, because usually as time goes on, people like start putting puzzle pieces together.
Yeah.
This whole season, the faithfuls were basically like, we have nothing to go off of, just gut feeling. That should be the first 3 round tables.
Correct.
So this is one of the round tables. Okay, we shouldn't be talking about dropping forks day 18. However, Portia, round table number 1. You cannot say when we killed Ian. Yeah. Immediately, we have nothing to go off of.
You deserve to die.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Portia. Do you think, okay, because this is what I also hate. This sentiment of housewives all stick together. And Lisa Rinna voted to banish Portia. I know that kind of signed her death warrant. Do you think that's a fair a fair thing? As a house, like, should the housewives all stick together?
I think as a strategy, you should go in with whatever group you are and like not vote for those people. Because we've talked about this, that like, all these faithfuls can't win. So you're also like fighting off your own faithfuls. So I think that was a bad move on Rinna's part, just for getting out her people, like the people who would keep her safe somewhat.
True.
And it gives people like a clue whether she was or wasn't a traitor. It gives people these clues that they can like jump off of and like say like, you're a traitor because like this was a weird behavior that you did.
Yeah, it's anything.
So I think it was a bad idea. And I don't like that people say like, oh, housewives stick together, as if, the gamers don't stick together. The audience like lashes out at the housewives about stuff like that.
I don't know why.
And I'm like, get a grip.
Because I think it's people like how I've never watched The Bachelor, really. Maybe it's people who have never watched Housewives. Like, they're not all on the same franchise, you guys. Like, they don't all know each other. They're not all friends.
It's so, just like people like going on different seasons of Survivor. It's like you don't know each other, but you're bonded in this. And so like you're like, okay, nodding at you like, I got you.
Mm-hmm. I do think it was a bad move from Rinna, but I don't like this whole like, oh, well, housewives have to stick together. They don't. They don't have to.
But you're kind of a bitch if you, like, do that. The housewives care about it way more, and they see each other way more because of, like, Watch What Happens Live and BravoCon. Like, there is this...
Fair.
You're my sister in this. Like, they have done way more than, like, the gamers, whatever.
That's
like,
true.
Think about Andy Cohen's baby shower.
That's very true. But, yeah, Portia... Sorry, girl, but I was with the house on that one. I was with the house, which sucked too because Housewives had good numbers. They had 5.
I know.
Portia, girl,
they had that big wave of like, you can't just go after a housewife like they did that last season. That was really mean. They really took them out all early. So there was this like pro housewife mentality going into like
that up.
This season.
Portia, Portia deserved it. I was with the majority on that.
Same.
Anyway,
So
next.
then we go into episode 3, and we had a cliffhanger at the end of episode 2 where the traitors had to locate those hidden tarot cards and
Oh,
choose
right.
someone to target for murder. So Rob R was able to sneak in to the kitchen area, I believe that was, while Candace got the entire house to do a conga line to distract them. But Rob C was like, this is a murder in plain sight. Something is going on,
Okay.
like, weird here.
Okay. Candace doing a conga line, though weird, is very aligned to Candace. Like, that's the great thing about having housewives as traitors, is they are already so out there and boisterous.
Yeah.
More so than the average person, but I would say less so than on housewives. They're kind of a little tame on traitors. But this was something that it was like, Candace is like, let's party. We're in a Scottish house.
Apparently she had been talking about it all day. Like, there multiple people had been talking about it, so Candace, like, really used
Like, let's
something
lift the
that was
mood.
happening.
Yeah. Portia's gone. Let's lift
That's
the mood.
it was like not a celebratory, like a morning.
Let's raise
of, like,
the mood.
Yeah. Portia's gone. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Portia wanted us to do a conga line. Yeah. But
For Portia.
Rob, though, listen, Rob's sister Nino, I will die on this hill. Though he didn't last long, probably one of the smartest people to ever play any reality game show ever.
Yeah.
Especially now that he literally, for a job, watches it and analyzes every single move. I was honestly so impressed with him being like, it's murder in plain sight. I was like, he's a king. I'm obsessed with Rob's sister Nino.
In his press, he said it wasn't the conga line that tipped him off. It's that they were being held later than normal. Their production schedule was different. Normally they would have already gone home. And so he was like, this is weird. Something's going on. Which, like, that just shows you he's on another level.
Yeah. He's so smart. Like,
yeah.
He's so good. I love Rob. I'm sad again that like he didn't last long, but I do love Rob.
I know, but it was really smart of them.
Listen, dare I say, for traitors, just do a special edition only gamers.
Okay, I want that.
Only
I
gamers.
want a gamer season, and I want just like a entertainment housewives.
Yeah,
like
plain
yeah,
not normies, but like.
But
the
like,
normies of the gamers, you know?
The personality hires,
the personality season. Yeah,
because I want to see the gamers cook. Like, I want them to build out the faithful strategy. We already kind of know some of the traitor strategy, but I need someone to model how a faithful should really win this game and not like season 3.
That'd be so good. And I'm going to say this too, like, though I said this season was a little boring because like there was gameplay but not entertainment. The thing about gamers, though, is they play so hard it becomes entertainment. This season, there wasn't enough gameplay for it to be super entertaining. Because the gamers are always gaming. Like, Rob, he's just up late, and he's like, something's happening, I'm gaming. Like,
yes,
I need that. Bring back all the gamers who have never won this show, and just throw them in the castle for a second time. Because they would.
Agree.
I think all of them would be like, we were unfairly targeted, let's come back. It'd be so good. It would be so good. Who do we have to talk to at production?
Listen.
I swear to God, how is production not called this yet? Are they part of the spam numbers that I keep ignoring?
They're not getting this podcast. You know, like it's too long for them. We just got to make more TikTok videos about how we need to be hired.
Okay, I'm going to make a straight up TikTok of that now.
Yeah,
great.
Do it.
Okay,
so Rob was murdered, and then we do a challenge where the contestants paired up. One was put in a cage. This is the iconic Lisa Rinna in a cage with sunglasses.
I love her. I want that as my background.
And then all of those people were at risk of being murdered. And then their partner had to get them basically out of the cage and complete like a puzzle of like stacking bones and stuff. And so if you got out of the cage, you were safe. But if you were left in the cage, you were at risk for that murder. And then we had at the round table, Donna Kelsey being banished. She is the first traitor to be taken out. And this is when the secret traitor was immediately revealed, which, again, this is the first episode drop. So it was like, okay, cool.
I felt nothing about, no offense, Donna Kelsey, I felt nothing about you leaving because I didn't really get to know you.
I know. People said it was like written into her contract to be like out this early. And I don't know if that was true, but I just think this secret traitor thing was like weird.
It was weird. I do love Dorinda, though, at the beginning being like, we can't murder her. The Swifties will come after us.
No, but I get that.
I get it. There's a fear. There's a fear there. Anyway, I don't know what happened in that one challenge besides Lisa Rinna looked iconic and I love her. She was so good.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, Donna Kelsey, R.I.P. girl.
Bye. Gone and forgotten immediately.
I forgot she was there when she was in the castle.
Yeah. So then the next week we got 2 more episodes. Like, we got so much so quickly. It started off with that face-to-face murder where all those people who were stuck in the cages still, the traitors got to pick someone. And they murdered
this was so
Caroline Stanberry.
Oh my God. Wait, again, this is where the entertainment is so important. Caroline looks at the traitors and she's like, Rinna, you bitch. And Rinna said, what did Rinna say back to her? I was laughing out loud. Rinna was like,
she said something about her like going home, and then there was
back
like
on your plane, Caroline, or like, I don't care. Because Caroline's like, Rinna, you bitch. And Rinna was like, I don't care about you. Something so, and I was like, Rinna's nasty, dude. I want to see if I can find
and
it.
Then
but
she said something
so
of like, I'll
funny.
see you at BravoCon, and she was like, maybe, or like, you won't.
Yeah. You'd be so lucky. Something so crazy. I was crying laughing. Rinna is so funny. Rinna's my favorite. I
loved it because Lisa in either press or like that podcast, the Traitors podcast or something, she was like, you know what, Caroline, I gave you an iconic exit, which is true. Like, what an exit to have that face-to-face murder and like have that back and forth. Like, that is housewives. Like, that isn't serious. And I don't think Caroline, like, obviously in the moment you're like pissed you're being taken out of the game, but they probably saw each other at BravoCon this like last fall, and there's no way that there's beef over that. And if there is, put them on Squash the Beef and like, let's get after it.
Rinna was like, you talk too much. Just like murdered her. It was so good. I was gagged. I love Lisa Rinna.
Oh my God.
And I didn't love her on Housewives, but I love her as a person. She is fucking Lisa Rinna.
I love her as an entertainer. Like,
yeah, she's great.
She shows up and she knows the job. Like,
she's incredible.
Finished Lisa Rinna's audiobook and it was incredible. So like this is what I love Rinna for. But again, with the Housewives like alliance, I'm like, Rinna, you are taking your numbers down and like this isn't a good idea.
Yeah, it's proving that all of the housewives you're murdering are not traitors, and everyone is suspicious that there's one housewife traitor.
That's true. But you also don't have voting numbers going into the round table. Like, I just don't think people think about their voting block. Like, that part of the strategy hasn't been. I don't think many of the faithfuls on this season didn't really think about it.
The faithfuls didn't think about it until there was like 5 people left, and they're like, "How do we get the swing vote?" Yeah, whatever. But I think as a traitor, and this is something that I think's missing a lot of the time with traitors, which I think Sari was the only one to really do it, but you need faithfuls to vote with you. Even if you're not in danger half the time of going home.
It's about the controlling of the game.
Yeah. You have to think already and be like, I need this whole game under my thumb. There can't be one person who's moving in a way that I don't know, which is why I think like Sari really hacked the game, right? Like that was incredible. She's great.
And Sari is too good at it to be able to like other people to mimic it because her social game is so insane.
But like, yeah, as a housewife, just don't kill the other housewives.
Yeah, like you're kind of like sure votes. You should keep those in the house.
You gotta, and here's my other thing. I don't know why people keep keeping around like smart people. Kristen was clearly very smart, and she was up for auction at the tree or whatever.
But also, she's like a floater. I know she's part of Bravo, but like being on Bravo and being a housewife is so different. I think the loose votes are sometimes a little scarier. At least with the gamers, you know you've got a block over there, and you could potentially use it to your advantage.
That
Kristen, like, where is she at? Who is she aligned with? Like, that's a nervous for me.
Yeah, I think as a player in general in this game, the 2 things you have to watch out for are pairs and floaters. Because if one person goes one way, the second vote automatically gets that way, and a floater can be turned in any voting way. If you have a group, maybe I'm not a part of the gamers group, but I know they're all going to vote for together. I already know their moves, so they're less of a threat than a pair and a floater. So Kristen's a floater, bye. Murdered.
And the gamers like are shields for you, whereas like Kristen would never be really a shield. I don't think there was ever much heat on you.
Yeah. She's not going to get a lot of heat on her, and she's smart. You got to get her out.
You got to cut those
people. But they got rid of Caroline, who again is I don't know what we're doing.
I forget who was like on that list of like available, but
I think the other one was Eric, because remember he goes to the round table. He's like, I heard a laugh, which we'll get to.
Yes.
But out of those, because it couldn't be Rinna. I think there were only 4, so Rinna was out. I think out of those 3, you kill Kristen. However, I do think Rob was probably protecting Kristen. This is where it's hard. So Lisa and Candace, I think, had an obvious... I think they had a, what do you call it? Like an advantage and a disadvantage at the same time, both being housewives. But I think the advantage is they can outnumber Rob.
I know, and they didn't do that, really.
We fall for this cute boy. Oh my God, he is so cute.
They didn't understand the message that some of these murders would send. And Rob was really weaving together the messaging. And he really thought about the strategy of like, what are the clues that we are leaving behind? And how do we leave behind some like false clues?
Well, because then even it's like, okay, Rob, pick one person to save. If you want to save Kristen, great. We both want to save Caroline, so Eric's dead. Like, you have to think kind of in that respect. So
I agree.
Yeah, but okay.
So then we move on to the challenge. This is when they're split into groups and they had to burn those effigies, and anyone left like with their like
and yell
statue
name.
thing. Yeah. When anybody left with the statue up was like available for shield or got a shield.
This is where Jam Jam cried. Jam.
Someone whispered about Lisa Rinna being a housewife. I think it was Monet Exchange to Candace.
Yeah.
And so that like started like,
that's the other
people
thing
are talking about Rinna.
That the housewives did really wrong. Well, no one was talking about Rob and he's floating way under the radar. But the second someone brings up their name, they're like, he must die. And I was like,
I know.
No. This was fine, I think, because Monet Exchange just told Candace.
Yes.
So there wasn't this big, which fine, let's kill Monet Exchange. But like, I don't know, dude, you gotta maybe keep people around a little bit. But
I know.
Whatever. But yeah, Jam Jam cried.
He did. At the round table then, Tiffany Mitchell gets banished. And this is off of Eric's terrible ears.
I heard a laugh. I'm a musician and I have ears. And Dave makes off the pitch of the laugh. It was you, Tiffany. And I was like, it was clearly Candace. Like, I immediately was like, that you heard a black woman laugh and you went, it must be Tiffany.
How scary that we're like, our clues are laughs. And like, we're wrong.
Here's the thing. We keep going off of nothing, which I will give 3 round tables to go off of nothing.
Correct. Because like you're really trying for randomness. You have no data.
I don't know how no one's, again, you have a great way to kind of get someone out without having anything is to say, I think you're a traitor, and even if you're not, you're bad faithful. Yes. That's what we should have been doing. Not, I'm magic ears and I heard a little pitch. Like,
yep. Why are we going undercover like Sherlock Holmes? And when that's not what is going to happen, I promise you, a laugh is not going to get these people out.
Also, here's the thing: if Eric did that, next round table, I'm like, Eric's an idiot. Let's just get him out. Or he's clearly a traitor. He wants to point us in the wrong direction. Something's happening with Eric, and either way, I don't like it because he made us all believe him, and he was wrong. So now let's punish him. That's what I would be like. Listen.
Some people were allowed to be so fucking wrong, and they got to stay and be wrong every fucking week. Except for Ron. Ron was wrong one time about Portia, and they never let it go.
Okay,
never let it go. And that she was a rightful get out because if somebody says we murdered, I forget Ian. We murdered Ian. I don't care. You're a traitor.
I don't care.
You're a traitor in my eyes. Like, that is weird language. And Ron was rightful for going after Portia that one time, but Eric in his magic ears gets to be wrong. And then he's wrong about like something else later, and it's like, oh well.
Listen, I don't know who was editing these roundtables, but there better be so much footage on the cutting room floor because every roundtable would get me so annoyed that like the conversations were not good at this roundtable.
No!
There's one later I want to discuss. But a big thing I had an issue with was Colton was always wrong. Eric was wrong on magic ears, but we still go back to Portia being wrong. Portia, even the Lisa Rinna, you voted for Portia. Well, let's all move on from that and look at the Colton who's throwing himself to find all these faithfuls like a psychopath. Let's get him out because he's wrong all the time and he switches up faster than the wind switches in Scotland.
And he's mean.
And he's mean. And Eric over here is like, I would have literally looked at Eric and been like, you targeted a black woman. Let's talk about that off of a voice, off of a, like, that's psychotic. And I'm not calling you racist, but I'm saying that kind of sucks. And as a woman of color, I don't love that. So I'm going to vote for you. And that's my reasoning. Why are we going back to Ron and being like, you had clear evidence and you were wrong. So now we must punish you for eight round tables. What are we doing? And Ron clearly wasn't a traitor, y'all. He wasn't talking to anyone.
I know.
Like, come on.
I know. Because if he was a traitor, he was a bad traitor. So, like
leave him.
Crap.
You want good faithfuls and bad traitors as a like anyone. That's who you want to target. That's who you want to keep. So magic heroes.
You're so right though. You brought up that like the round table sucked, and I think that's what like hurt the entertainment of this show, because nobody gave a defense ever. And maybe they did and they like left it on the cutting room floor, but it never felt like the people were defending themselves or we had like good reasoning or good discussions. This was the worst season for roundtables. And I've told so many people, like, I live for a roundtable. Everybody's got to go watch UK seasons because they do roundtables incredibly.
I think back to Phaedra did incredible roundtables. My God, even last season, like when Rob and Bob were going at it, that was at least something. They were defending themselves. Tiffany basically said, I can't change your minds.
What?
I
That's
think people
crazy.
are scared if they fight at this round table, they're next. And it's like, no, you're either now or later. So you might as well just be now and fight your little ass off.
So, like, try to change the narrative a little bit.
Even if you're Tiffany and you don't have anything to go off of, I would be like, how can you base it off my laugh? Why are we trusting your pitch?
Yep.
And also, along with that, you haven't really talked to anyone until now. Now is when you speak up. And you're so certain it's me. Honestly, if I was Tiffany, I would have been like, there's other black women at this table. Why isn't it them? If we're stereotyping and you were listening for laughs and pitch, there's other women. What are we doing?
I'm shocked that Tiffany, who was an incredible game player, wasn't like, I'm sorry. If I was a traitor, I would have never laughed. I'm smarter than that. Are you kidding me? Like, I'm not a traitor because I would have been crushing this gameplay. I'm not that. I would have never laughed. That's the clue. It's not me.
No, it was so sad. She straight up was just like, please don't let me out. I'm trying to save money for my children. And I was like, Tiffany.
No, the personal reasons are not a reason to not be an issue. I need to know why this evidence that people are putting forward is not accurate or a bad strategy or something. And we got
honestly
nothing.
As a third party, if I was at this round table, I would have been like, Eric, here's the thing. I'll vote with you, but if you're wrong, you're next.
It's you next. Mm-hmm.
Do we all agree? All right. Yeah. Eric's next. So, Tiffany, see you now. Eric, you were wrong. Let's make the round table easy next week, huh?
Because that's the thing, is like it felt like men always got to bring up shoddy evidence and have no repercussions for it, and we just like let them give us more shoddy evidence the next round table.
There were women that brought up actual evidence and nothing was it. You know, whatever.
Shocker.
I'm not here. We're in a bad America, okay? We just need to go back a few years.
Listen, it shows a reflection of our state, and like I can tell.
It shows.
I can tell. Yeah.
It shows.
So then we move on to episode 5. Monet is murdered after saying Lisa Rinna's name. The turd is like, The challenge is when they went and had to look for those clues in the fountain and they go retrieve statues across the grounds.
Oh, this was hilarious. Watching Candace try to do this. Oh, and they had shields. They're shields.
Yes. During this challenge, there was a temptation that if anybody took a shield during the challenge, they were obviously safe. But if no one took a shield, there would be no murder. So we don't know what happened. They really didn't give us anything in that episode of like if people took shields or not. They really, had that leading at it.
There was no shield.
But then by the end of this episode, we got Michael Rappaport banished, which was huge because he's also a shitty person.
Oh my God, him shoveling the food in his mouth is forever so hilarious to me. I loved it. I want to study it. It was so good. Can we talk about this round table real quick?
Yeah.
Because this was the round table that Michael Rappaport and Colton went at it. And when I tell you, I hope they both exploded. I was watching and I was like, both of them. Get rid of both of them.
It pissed me off because what we just said, like there was no good round tables. And then this is like two people. I'm like, I finally get people yelling at it. And I hate both of these people.
I think Michael had to go because he was a distraction to the game.
A bad faithful.
I mean, let me tell you, those traitors keep Michael Rappaport around forever.
I know.
But yeah, he was a bad faithful, so we had to get rid of him, so I get that. And then him and Colton went at it, and then Michael Rappaport said, what did he say to Colton that really, like...
He was basically like,
you can hide.
You could be a traitor because you have been able to
You're
hide.
sneaky.
Like, you've kept a secret for so long. Yeah, something along those lines.
Yes, which the table was then really offended on behalf of Colton for.
Yeah.
Which I get. I can't remember exactly. I think it was worse, whatever Michael said, because he was like putting Colton like back in the closet or something.
It was very much alluding to have the ability to keep a secret because you
hid
were in the closet for so long.
Yeah, everyone was quite offended by this, which I am not in, like, I'm not gay, so I missed, I think, the initial reaction. Because then when I went online, I was like, oh, this has upset a large amount of people. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Yes, Michael Rappaport is incredibly offensive. He has always been that way, and he will always be that way.
Yeah.
I really don't think I think he meant it offensively. I don't think he meant it that offensively, but that's what happened. So
that's because there's discourse online about, he didn't mean that. That's not what he was saying. I fully think that's what he's saying, but I don't think that he was like, you're a bad person. He's just saying, you have the ability to hold a secret. Like, you could do this.
I could see where Michael was coming from.
Like, I don't think he meant, like, you're gay and that's a bad thing.
Yes.
Or, like, you held a secret and so you're a bad person.
No, he wasn't saying Colton was bad.
But he was talking about him being closeted.
Gay,
because what else was he talking about? When I talk about it with other people, I'm like, so then what was Michael referencing? And nobody can give me something else. This is the only thing. But I agree. I don't think he meant it as like, you're gay, you're a bad person, you could be a traitor because you're gay.
No,
it's like,
you're gay. Yeah.
You're
but
gay.
It didn't help that he was like screaming at Colton too.
His demeanor is really
that's
poor.
what was really, I think, the most offensive was whatever. I think it was rightful that Michael Rappaport left. I personally, though, hate Colton, too. So I hated Colton sitting there with his smug little smile and being like, what did you just say to me? Now all the gays are going to come to my defense. And I was like, no, gays, leave him alone. Don't defend him.
That's the thing is I don't want to defend anybody's honor. Like, I think Michael is a bad person. I think you should not be using people's, like, sexuality and personal life as gameplay stuff.
No.
Like, I think that's super gross. But Colton, you are also not a good person.
He should have been like, because you kept that secret stalking your ex.
That's the thing.
I would have been like,
but nobody knew that. I'm like, no,
he
does have the ability to do this because he's a bad person, not because he's gay.
Yeah. Which Michael tried to backtrack and be like, I wasn't talking about him being bad gay.
You were talking about him being gay.
But it was so messy. I was like, this is crazy. Which I will say, I did put a TikTok out and I said, you can hate both Colton and Michael Rappaport. Because then everyone was like, oh, poor Colton. And I was like, no.
Oh, I feel like that's why Colton stayed so long. Is then, like, if Michael had never said that, I feel like people would have, like, been annoyed with Colton and, like, been able to do it. Because he did this with Cassie, the, like, oh, I'm gay, so, like, I'm absolved. It's like, oh my God, I was attacked because I'm gay. I
have to stay now. Yeah.
My God, I don't even know. It just bothered me so much.
And public opinion all of a sudden was like, oh, poor Colton. Michael Rappaport sucks. Two things can be true at the same time. Michael can suck and Colton can suck. And I said that in my TikTok. And Lisa Rinna commented. And she came at the reunion. And I like to think that was partly because of me. Anyway.
Listen, she was ready. She was
See
so
ya, Michael.
online at that point.
See ya, Michael.
Oh my God. So then, episode 6, we got no murder because we find out that nobody took the shield during the mission.
Boo!
I know. The traitors, this is where I'm like, guys, you have a responsibility to try to go get that shield if you can.
Lisa and Candace were on the same team. I think with Colton, you could have convinced Colton to take that. We could have convinced Colton to take that.
I know.
Like, Lisa should have just looked at Colton and been like, what if we should we?
I know.
You know, like a little...
And to be honest, what they should have done is convince Colton to take it, murdered Colton, and then, like, have a missed shot, and then Lisa and I think Candace would have been kind of absolved.
I think the hard part is it would have to be Colton's idea, because you know he would go to the round table and be like, it was Lisa and Candace's idea. Or I would have been like, listen, Rob is a good manipulator. If I was Lisa and Candace, I would have been like, Rob, get your team to take shields.
I know.
Get your team.
Like, I feel like the Traitors should have tried a little harder, and maybe they did, and they didn't edit it in, but that's the problem.
What's on the cutting room floor at this point? There has to be better stuff.
Anyway. Like, I don't like how this went down. But then, okay,
Agreed.
so no murder. Then the challenge was that haunted house where they had to sit around that table and everybody freaked out.
Oh,
This
that
was the best
so
challenge.
funny.
So funny.
That was so stupid funny. I love them being at this house. Whether
Me
with
too.
any type of creepy doll. That's what I want out of the Traitors more.
Creep factor only, obsessed with it.
Yeah.
And then we got the Ron banishment.
Oh, I felt so bad for Ron. Sometimes this show shouldn't make me be so sad. And I was heartbroken for Rob.
Because he was really isolated and he was sad, and he's come out since and said he was, I think, diagnosed with autism. Like, I hate seeing anybody alone. Like, that really makes me sad and feel like they can't talk to anyone. And again, because he was wrong on the Portia vote, which was a rightful wrong, pissed me off
magic
more.
ears. Okay, magic ears. That's what the way I would have stuck up for Ron at this round table so hard. I would have been like, look, I don't know if Ron's a traitor or not, but the Portia vote was valid. Rightfully, it was valid. Look at Magic Ears over there. That's all I would have called Eric was Magic Ears. I would have been banished for bullying at that point, because I would have been like, okay, Magic Ears. Anytime
You're never
Eric
beating
talks,
the bullying charge.
No, anytime Eric talked, he could take salmon in the morning. I'd be like, look at Magic Ears eating his salmon. Can you hear it?
So true.
Can you hear it, Magic Ears?
Because salmon, like, not getting salmon at breakfast was like a big thing, that you had to be within like the first or second group to be able to get it. And it's like, you're a traitor because you took all the salmon today.
Yeah. Oh, there goes Magic Ears to the bathroom. Like, I would have bullied the fuck out of Eric after that. Poor Ron, though. I didn't like this round table because I felt sad.
I know. And
reality TV shouldn't be sad like this.
Rob was really close with Ron, so he wouldn't vote Ron at the round table. So he threw a vote on Lisa Rinna, who was
crazy.
The other name at the round table. And I think that this is a huge mistake on Rob's part.
I think it was, in a way, I don't know. I get why he did it. Yeah. Although now when you complain about Lisa and Candace not trusting you, it's because of something you did.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
You fired the first shot.
You fired the first shot, and now they have every right, whether the faithfuls are smart enough or not, they have every right to fire back at you.
Correct. And this is where I was very disappointed in Candace and Lisa for not realizing their majority in that turret. Because then they go to the turret and they're like, I can't believe you voted for Lisa, yada, yada, yada. The minute we leave that turret tomorrow morning, I'm starting to say Rob's name all around the house. I am starting the case for Rob. I'm sorry, I don't trust you. We are not a team anymore. Like, not happening. You're going to go first, not me.
Yeah, 100%. I am with you. This is why we shouldn't be traitors together. We would already know who we're campaigning against. It's too good. Too good.
But, like, how did they not do that?
I think because Rob was like, I'm sorry, I just couldn't vote for Ron. Let's work together. It'll never happen again. And we have the white boy that we're like, oh, cutie, okay. Yeah.
And they did get distracted because Alan Cummings comes in at the end of this episode and is like, we're going to have a banquet and you have to, like, one of you has to wear this amulet. So we know this banquet's coming. And Lisa Rinna decides she's going to wear the amulet. So in episode 7...
I would have made Rob do it. I would have been like, this is your punishment. Yeah.
Yes, that's so true.
Because that's not going to match with anything he gets. So it's going to stick out. And...
You need to put your neck on the line. Lisa already had heat, and you helped with that.
That's what pissed me off.
So you need to take it off.
Yeah, I think I got lost in the Alan Cummings banquet of it all, too. But I remember once the amulet was there, I was like, have Rob wear it. Even though I think it was fabulous, Lisa wore it. She is fabulous. That, for entertainment value, was perfect. For gameplay, Rob has to wear it.
Lisa was there to make a good show. And so I think she was like, this will get me great screen time. This will give me a moment. And you know what?
Incredible.
I commend her for that.
She's incredible,
the gamer in me is like, girlie, no, don't do that.
I think that's it, right? Because when you think of this season, people may forget that Rob won. Because that happens sometimes if you have a winner. I will never forget Lisa Rinna at the banquet. I for as long as I live. So Yeah, she put on a show. Anyway.
Leading into this episode, there was a lot of press going on too. People were like, this is the best episode. The banquet is insane. Lisa Rinna was saying there was always going to be a moment that was like Andy Cohen's baby shower level. So there was a lot of hype.
No.
I watched this with friends because there was so much hype into it. And we finished it and I was like, that's it. That was the episode?
Yeah.
I was disappointed. So we go into the banquet. Lisa Rinna's the last to arrive in her like sailor couture outfit. I was like,
it's so ugly. It's so good. It's that thing for me as a normal person that can't afford this nice of clothes. It is so ugly. It's fashion. Like, I'm like, yes, serve, baby. And I'm like, I would never be caught dead wearing that. But Lisa Rinna puts it on and I'm like, she's making a statement. She's fashion.
Oh my God. And then we have Colton who like is so proud of his fucking outfit. He has like all these jewels on and that weird ass crown. And I was like, get out of here.
I'm gonna die.
They all had to bring their own banquet. They were told that there would be a banquet, and if obviously you made it far enough, you would get to wear it. So Rob's sister Nino actually put his on and like showed on social media his outfit because he didn't make it.
I love Rob.
So Lisa comes in. She's wearing her cursed little amulet as a brooch on her sailor dress, and awesome. The first to touch it dies. So she has to get somebody to touch it, but you also just don't want anybody to touch it. And I love whenever you have to murder in plain sight, where it's like, give someone wine or like do something where it's like sometimes you're just running out of time and you just need to kill someone.
Yeah.
And so we're given this very leading edit that really pissed me off actually, because that isn't what happened.
No.
I think it's between Natalie and Jam Jam of who touched it. And then everybody sits down for the dinner banquet and they are told that somebody is going to die at this table. And they are given the option of 2 anecdotes available for people to save themselves.
Really quick. Mm-hmm. This is where you need better gamers. No offense to Natalie and Jam Jam. Rob's sister Nino would have been like, a banquet? Someone's dying in plain sight. Something's happening. Everyone should have looked for anything remotely out of the ordinary. Yes. I wouldn't have been taking drinks from anyone. There was one, because, they get the antidotes and then like, you can be safe if you drink the antidote.
What happened?
Yeah. There was one, I think that it was Steven and Natalie, where someone was like, rearrange those cards or pick up a tarot card.
Kristen.
Kristen.
Yeah.
That, I was like, that. Because someone's like, I got served chicken. And I was like, no, it's not your chicken. The tarot card, chicken. Though, I was like, that I would be scared about. Yeah.
I think, Kristen came in and there were some tarot cards flipped and maybe she flipped one.
I think it was that's it. Steven said, flip one. Yeah. And she flipped it. And then she was like, Steven told me to flip a tarot card. That cement, Steven's a traitor. I know. Like right there. And then, Tara's like, oh my God, I got cold chicken. I was like, oh
my God. My girlie, I don't think the food chicken. Is this. If somebody poured you a glass of wine and handed you it in a crazy cup, maybe we can go with that. But we're all eating here. I don't think it's serving. I liked how a lot of them were like, we all served each other. Like, that's not it. I forget who was yelling about it, being like, it's not the chicken.
No, the tarot cards. Because Steven didn't even say, like, why don't you put, he just said, flip one over. Like, he's telling you to do it.
So direct.
Oh, my God. Yeah, but then this antidote, everyone's like, give me it. Natalie, I thought was going to punch Tara in the face for this antidote. I was like, Natalie, you need to calm down. I felt bad
for Tara because she was
I did too.
She's freaking out about her chicken. Serious.
But Natalie didn't have a good reason. She's like, I don't know what I did. I would feel really good, though, if I had the antidote. Which is
why we got the leading edit of Lisa Rinna and her pin debacle, because they, like, made us believe it was between Jam Jam and Natalie because of Natalie's freak out about the anecdote. So then, Natalie not even being near Lisa Rinna when it actually happened, I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Natalie, why did you feel the need to get that anecdote?
Yeah, and she was very crazy about it. And then Jam Jam was like, oh my God, Lisa Rinna kissed me. And someone was like, but we all kiss. And he's like, no, she kissed me with her lips. Which I could even told you housewives don't kiss on she's not putting her lips on your cheek, bro. You're wrong.
But it's so funny that he's right, but he's right, wrong.
But he's wrong. But then Jam Jam is the one.
Well, okay, so Natalie and Kristen are the ones who drink the anecdote, and they're like, okay, we got it, guys. And then those masked guys come in and pull Jam Jam by his chair, and he's kicking and screaming, it's Lisa!
Okay.
It's Lisa!
Can I say a few things? First of all, in this United States of America, please don't send masked men in to take a person of color. That was crazy.
That was scary.
That was scary. Second of all, why would I get Jam Jam freaking out, but also he was like really freaking out, which made me kind of freak out, which is why I thought this is scary. I didn't like this. I didn't know why Jam Jam was freaking out, if it really was this scary, but I didn't like that. Again, I had a bad taste in my mouth from it. I didn't like it.
Production was like, listen, this is a big moment, because they were all told before they even came to Scotland, like, there's going to be this banquet. So they were like, this is the big moment. Like, you got to act. Like, give it to us. Like, really bring it.
Maybe, but then it's not fun, because I know it's a game. I know it's a game. So someone could have been like, no. And I would have been like, that's hilarious. Jam Jam looked like he was distressed.
Like he was being taken by ice.
He was being taken by ice. And I was like, I don't. And it's a man of color. And I was like, this is.
Which they didn't know what was going to be happening during the time.
The scariest thing of my life.
Really poor timing in our
great.
real world versus this show that was filmed
great.
6 months ago.
He did, though. He as on his way out, he was like, it was Lisa. Which I was like, yeah, dude.
This is what I want. This is what I want.
And
I want
she's
people...
like, me.
Lisa was like, I didn't kiss
in
that
her sailor hat, me.
Which is so funny that he was right but wrong. Because
right
she's
but
like,
wrong.
no, but I didn't kiss him. And I'm like, that's hard to defend.
It's hard to defend. But I hate that this was then a long thing of like, did Lisa kiss him? Because it doesn't even matter. Here's the thing though, Jam Jam. No, she did not put her lips on you. No housewife ever kisses with their lips on your cheek. That is crazy. She does like a European kiss or like a Latin American kiss where you go cheek to cheek and you go, mwah. But you don't even go cheek to cheek because you have makeup on. So you just, mwah. Air kiss.
That's the thing. I was dying over the girls being like, no, because like our makeup, and everybody else was like, what? And it's like, no, this is a thing for them. It matters. Which is why I needed like Maura to be like, no, like we would never.
Oh my
Lisa
God, don't even get me started on Maura. I'm gonna say this now because it'll come up again. If Rob told her to hold his shit, she would have. I was so mad. Anyway, go on. Okay, so Jam Jam's gone. Here's Lisa.
Dragged away.
So
and then
scary.
we have a challenge where they all have to like carry or like get bags of gold. It was weird. I did not really pay attention to this one.
I didn't really watch this.
They climb this fucking mountain and they have like gold in their backpack. So a lot of the guys carried a lot of it because like there's a physical element to it.
Do you know how mad I would be if I was in Scotland and they're like, climb this mountain? I'd be like, no, don't
climb
make
this mountain
me.
with heavy shit on your back.
Please don't make me. That's when I'd be like, Alan, can I just give up? Like, I don't care enough.
Where can I exit?
I'll just go to the round table.
At the top of it, they have to put it in baskets or whatever. And whoever
Someone's
has the
named.
most. Yeah. Everybody has a name basket. Whoever has the most, like these like 5 people, have the opportunity to win a dagger. So people are just like shoving it in different things. You know, like Lisa puts it in Steven's, just like get people.
Lisa should have put it in Rob's. Lisa should have put it in Rob's.
Or like finds, I don't know. Lisa, that was a weird thing because she just walked up and was like, yours?
Lisa and Candace both should have, and gotten Dorinda to all put it in Rob's. That would have looked so suspicious.
Yes. So Rob, at that 5-person table, wins the dagger. They all decide to keep this a secret amongst the 5 of them.
It's like 4 boys and Natalie. It's like Colton, Steven, some other boy, Rob, and Natalie.
Yes.
Mark was the other boy.
And so then at the round table later that night, Lisa Rinna is the one banished, and Rob is the one who heavily leads the charge. And Lisa was so caught off guard at this.
Yeah. This was... I get it, but also, fuck you, Rob. You know?
I know.
You know? I get it, but it made me sad because Lisa Rinna had delivered.
I know. And this is at the point where I was starting to get frustrated with the show because I was like, nobody is challenging Rob. Rob is both the lead traitor and the like traitor
lead
hunter to the faithfuls. And I was like, this isn't man fun.
To Colton. Yeah, which I didn't like. My thing is, though, and I knew this was coming because I love Potomac, and Candace Dillard Bassett is one of, if not my favorite housewife of all time. Candace, once you do her dirty, she will sink with that ship. She will try to sink. She doesn't care if she goes down, too. And I was like, yeah, Rob, you are going to just start a nightmare for yourself. Like with Candace. Like, he could maybe have worked with Lisa. Candace isn't going to work with you now. Candace is too loyal to a fault. She's going to make your life harder, even if just for one episode. Your life is going to be
Yes.
harder now.
That turret I was so excited for the minute
Wait.
Lisa went.
Was this also the night that Colton, or before, Colton had gone up to Lisa and said, I'll protect you at the round table if you protect me in the turret?
Yeah, which honestly, a good line. I hate him, but I was like, that's a good line, but you have buried Lisa. You have been talking about Lisa way too much for this to actually be a partnership.
Late. And she signed the contract. She can't tell you if she's a traitor. So
no, but I think that's really smart to go up to someone you think is a traitor, especially if you've been kind of at odds with them, you're not in an alliance, and be like, listen, I'm clocking you.
You know what would have been
and
funny?
If I'm right, like, keep me safe and I'll keep you safe. Like,
you know what would have been funny? If she said, okay, and then she gets safe at the round table, and then at the next turret she goes, let's murder Colton. That would have been because Lisa would have held all the cards, but it would have been also funny if like he was wrong and she was a faithful, and she just went okay. Like I would just always be like, yeah,
because like what could he possibly?
Anyone presents me with that offer, sure thing. I'm in.
Yeah,
sounds good. And you're murdered the next time. I can
absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that night in the turret, they do have a opportunity to recruit, and they deny it because Candace doesn't want to be outnumbered to Rob with somebody he recruited.
Because I think most people would have sided with Rob over Candace at that point.
Because she was like a sinking ship, you think?
Well, yeah, if you look at who was left at this point, he recruits like Maura, Mark, Colton, Natalie. All those people would have picked Rob over Candace. There was only one other person that probably would have had Candace's back, and it's Dorinda. And do not make Dorinda. That's bad for Candace, too. I think in numbers, you want another traitor, of course.
Yeah.
However, I think Candace it was like everyone would have trusted Rob over Candace, and then she would have been outnumbered.
Yeah, I think, again, the housewives weren't good at wanting to turn on their traitors. They're a little bit too loyal in that. I thought this would be a great moment to get a new traitor in and immediately get them banished, to like just get any scent off of you. Like if you get Rob to get Colton, and you could have taken Colton down.
You would have had to agree with Rob first and be like, what if we bring in a traitor and then we immediately target that person? Like, who do we want?
You don't even have to tell him about that. Like, we can't trust Rob. You just need to turn on whoever he brings in. Because to me, again, it's about the numbers, and like Rob has numbers in the faithfuls. That is a tricky point, but like that's why you got to bring in someone who already has heat on them and be able to turn that, like,
that's true.
Turn that banishment to them.
That's, I think, then what makes it like a big game. Sometimes you gotta make a big game move to win a big game.
Yeah.
So,
This would have been the moment. So then they decide not to recruit. They actually murder Colton. And Rob, this is where Rob's like strategy is was so really smart, leveling up, because
Rob would never have killed Colton.
No, and Colton was mentioning Candace a little bit at this point. He was constantly knowing that other conversations were happening in front of other people, so then they would be brought up if that person got murdered. Like he knew how to like not be the one starting the charge.
That wasn't
about
a
what
good
each
move.
Murder meant.
Yeah, it was
not on Candace.
No. She once she gets mad, she sees red. Like she was not even thinking, which is her fault for sure. But yeah, once Lisa was gone, Candace just saw red.
Yes, it completely blinded her. So in the challenge then, this is when they were split into like 3 groups. There were 3 people with a bunch of art, and then the 2 groups left behind had to act out these prompts.
Hilarious.
Take a photo.
Hilarious.
And then it got sent back to the art people.
I love
and they had to select the right picture. And Maura's group, amazing. Like they knew what they were doing. And then I forget who was like in the other group.
It was like Candace, Eric, and someone else. Yeah, terrible.
They could not read their photos, because I know Rob and Kristen were in the art selection, and they'd be like, is that a pig's head? Is that a baby? They were kind
of weird. They did one. I remember watching like Candace and Eric's group do one, and I was like, oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
But I knew what they were describing. And then you saw Mark and Kristen, and they're like, do you think they're at a funeral? I'm like, they're clearly cows. Like, what are you talking about? No, I think maybe it was more the facials. I don't know, but that's a fun one. Stop having these people climb mountains and start having them act out photos and like sing songs based off of what babies cry. Like that's hilarious,
incredible. Then we have the round table, and poor Candace Dillard Bassett is banished.
She left that breadcrumb though. She went out voting for Rob.
That's my thing. Anybody on the traitors, if a traitor votes for them, that's my first suspicion immediately. I don't care if they've never targeted them a day in their life or not.
Especially if it's not the overwhelming majority. If it's a 1 vote If it's a burn vote, get Rob.
Yep.
Candace voted for him twice. She voted for him on the Lisa vote, too.
True.
And she said it's just a burn
strong.
vote. Yeah, it's just a burn vote. That the minute Candace went on, I'd be like, so Rob's the last traitor. Like, I would have looked at anyone and been like, it's Rob.
And this
you
is when I was
idiots.
like, oh, we have the dumbest faithfuls live.
Maura mostly. This is where my beef really started with Maura was
Kristen was still around. Like, Kristen, what are you doing? They're all blinded by Rob.
You're right. They're all blinded by Rob. Which Kristen surprised me. I don't know how she's charmed by this white boy. Come on, Kristen.
This is the episode it was the next episode I got really pissed because
Same.
What do you mean? There are like some clues, but nobody is willing to look at Rob at all.
We're
They're all
still
like,
talking about
so obviously not Rob.
We're still
Anybody
talking about
else?
the Portia vote for some reason.
Yeah.
Rob's
Oh my
gone. What are we doing?
God.
We have that's the thing is you have something to go off of.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a clue. It's not like, oh, he breathed weird.
Yeah.
I just have a gut feeling. Oh, Steven was in One Tree Hill and Laguna Beach. We have to vote him out. No, we have a legit clue. A traitor voted for Rob twice. Let's just get Rob out. And if we're wrong, we're wrong. And if we're right, we win.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Like, hello?
I know. That night
Idiots.
then, because it's just down to Rob, there was a forced recruitment. Eric Nam is selected, and he has the biggest reaction I've ever seen in my entire life. It was iconic.
I loved him seeing the note, and he's like, oh my God, it's Johnny. He's like, I know it is.
Talk about dumb faithfuls.
And he's like, he sees Rob, and he's like, which just tells you everything you need to know. No one's going after Rob. If I'm Eric now, oh my God, we got to get Rob out. We got to get Rob out.
Wait. Okay, so the recruited traitor, I'm always like, you are either gonna be fed to the wolves, or do you really think your other traitor's gonna ride with you to the end, even though they've done all the work? As the recruited traitor, you must immediately turn on the OG traitor.
Like, so quick. The way if I'm Eric, I would have gone to Kristen and been like, suspicious that you have a platform too. Candace voted twice.
Yes!
Let's do it. Go straight to those ice skaters. Look at Kristen. Mark's getting a little suspicious. Let's rally the troops, baby. We're going to get Mark out. Or we're going to get, what's his name? Rob out.
Rob, yeah.
Oh my God. Eric said magic ears. I can't believe we picked magic ears.
Magic ears, magic eyes,
oh
magic
my
brain
God.
in there. I was so disappointed. I thought Eric was a good pick because here's who's left whenever Rob has to pick from. Eric, Maura, Tara, Johnny, Dorinda, Kristen, Steven, Natalie, and Mark are left. I do think Eric was the best pick of them all.
The best pick. Yeah. Maura would have been his least smart pick. He needs Maura as that faithful. He needs her as a faithful.
Because I don't think she could be a traitor. I think it would have broken her. Like, she would have been obvious if she had to start being a traitor.
I think I just do what Tiffany did. Match with one traitor matches with one faithful. That was his. Yeah, Eric was the smartest. I think you could have gone Eric or Mark, but I think Eric was probably the smartest because he was the dumbest. He was the one that Rob could have easily manipulated the game from.
Which is what he did. If you have to hang him out to dry, he will not put up a fight.
No, he's not going to defend himself at this round table. Fucking Tiffany couldn't even do it.
We already have evidence of magic ears. Well, I guess nobody knows about the eyes, but magic ears, like you can pull up other stuff from him earlier on.
Eric's the best choice. But Eric, come on, we gotta rally these troops, baby.
Yep.
Stop number 1 at breakfast. I'm walking in and being like, it's Rob. It has to be Rob.
Yes.
Because of Candace.
And instead, they murdered Dorinda together. And Dorinda has been saying Eric's name. So this is another, like, oh, like, what's going on here? Like, Rob is immediately setting up of, like, if Eric ever has to go, fine. If I'm, like, riding to the end with him, fine. Yeah. Like, either way works for him.
Either way, Rob's fine.
Yeah. Then we have the challenge, and this is when they were put in boxes, and the traitors had to get out, give answers, and then everybody else would vote answers.
This is weird. I thought it would have been louder.
Me too. They clearly were editing in the noise. I was waiting for people to, like, put their ear against the edge of the box. Like, this is your time for clues. I love when there is a challenge that could give you the traitor clues.
Agreed. They basically, though, they were like, let's fuck with everyone, fuck with the money. We're just going to put Tara for everything, which was smart. Honestly, that was the strategy, because I always try to think strategy before they play the game. And I said, put the same person or lie. Who forego the money at this point.
As a traitor, who cares about the money? Because your whole goal is to get to the end. And that last challenge always makes up all the money.
Yeah, you're fine.
So, like,
Yeah,
you
you're
leaving
good.
money on the table, it doesn't matter.
It's okay. You already have like 100,000 at this point. Just that's enough for now. Forego
Yeah.
the money to save my. Because if I don't make it to the end anyway, I don't get any money. So I got to get to that end.
And also, this is when, so like the faithfuls are catching on that it's always going to be Tara. So they're like, we're all voting Tara. We want the money. Everybody's like, yes. Johnny and Tara get in that box, come out with other names.
What's happening with them?
They're such bad faithfuls.
They're disappointing me, left, right, and center. Yes. And it sucks. This was an Olympic year, so I'm trying to root for you, and you fucking suck. I'm trying to be patriotic towards this country I don't even like, and you're really making it difficult. It's already difficult enough.
It was wild to hear their voice so much because I was watching like the Olympics and the figure skating stuff. So they're calling that. I'm watching them on Traitors every Thursday.
I know.
There was so much.
Every time I'm watching the Olympics, I'm like, they're so stupid as faithfuls.
I'm like, thank God you're smart over here because like I can't handle you as idiots twice.
I did have one thought one time while watching the Olympics where I was like, thank God they have jobs because they're not running around with this money after Traitors.
I know. But I will say, NBC did a great job promoting their own shows within this Traitor season because they had the Olympic stuff going on. Love Island got more attention. Housewives got so much attention. Like, yeah, there's other people, but they really highlighted their own talent. Maura on Love Island, like, incredible job for NBC.
100%.
So then at the round table, Stephen Colletti gets banished, and this is when Johnny and Tara reveal their friendship at the round table, which, how did people miss this?
That's it. I think people were really like annoyed that they hid this, but I would have been like, we could have, it wasn't that surprising. Like we could have put 2 and 2. It's like assuming every housewife is friends. You just kind of assume every figure skater or Olympian
knows each other at least, or like would have an alliance. Maybe you don't know how close they are, but like you shouldn't be that shocked. That's like they're going to be a duo.
Y'all got to do some homework. No one knows Colton. No one knows that these 2 Olympians literally like give commentary every 4 years or 8 years or what. Like, how are we not? Come on.
I know.
Everyone's here is like, oh my God, Rob and Maura are best friend. No, they just met. Come on, let's do homework.
That's the thing. They're from US and UK Love Island. Like, those people don't know each other, but they're going to link up because of Love Island. So why wouldn't you think the figure skaters actually do know each other?
Also, I don't think this was like a big... I don't think they had to be like, we're best friends. They could have just said, we know, like, it's assumed you know each other through figure skating. I'm assuming you're linking up together. You don't have to tell me that you guys were at each other's weddings or whatever. Like,
I know. They could have just been like, I know she could never handle this. Like, I know this isn't our thing.
You could be like, she could never handle this. Like, as Olympians, I know her. I've worked with her before on Olympics.
I've seen her under pressure.
I get it. This just isn't her. Yeah, I've seen her under pressure. This is not something she could do.
Yeah.
But instead they're like, we're besties. I literally know their children, and they could never do this.
But I will say, it did sway the round table. Like, that's how Steven got out, is they were like, okay, like, I guess, like, they can't do this. So Steven gets removed.
Sorry, Steven. Sorry, buddy. I forgot you were even on this season, to be honest.
Right.
See you later, Stevie.
Then we go into episode 10, and Kristen is murdered. She was murdered by that. What's that called with the clown popping out of the box? I could not think of that word.
Jack in the Box?
Yes.
The clown in the box? Clown in the box? Yeah. Clown in the box?
And then we get the carousel challenge, and this cracked me up because Eric and Tara couldn't compete in the carousel part
for
because
medical.
Of, like,
yeah.
But I don't know if you noticed this, that they had dummies in their place.
Yeah.
In order, I think, to make the challenge equal because they didn't have the dizziness, every time they had to go get their dummy out of theirs, put it in the seat that they were sitting in, and like buckle it in and out to like give them a time delay. And I was cracking up, them running over, hauling their little like dummy out.
This was funny. This was a funny one. This though, here's my next thing. These dumb faithfuls. Rob throws a temper tantrum because he doesn't get a seat at the carousel. He's the first out. He throws a literal temper tantrum, and Mark is like, why are you fucking coming at me? That is where I would have been like, Rob's a traitor.
That's
Hello?
a thing.
If we're not basing our roundtable off anything anyway, this is a thing then. This is nothing. Let's talk about it.
If they had taken the breadcrumb that Candace left seriously, this would have been the second thing to be like, wait a minute. Like,
why is he freaking out? Yeah.
But every conversation they would be like, okay, who do we think the traitors are? Not Rob. So like, who else? Like, who in the rest?
Yeah.
They immediately be like, so it's not Rob.
Fucking
Who else do we
Maura would
have?
be like, it's definitely me before Rob.
Weird.
It's so weird. I don't know what spell Rob put on them, but it was crazy.
No, it pissed me off so much.
This would have sent me. I mean, Mark got a little suspicious, but not superstitious, you know?
Not enough to do anything.
Yeah.
Because if there is one thing I've learned from this game, by this end, like if you've already gotten out like 2-3 traitors, you're like, who is the person who is so under the radar? That's the next traitor. Who is the person we would never think it would be?
And
that's
Eric,
who we need to look at.
Eric was driving me nuts, man. It was all right there. It was
I
all
know.
right there. He could have went to Mark and been like, dude, and you could have convinced probably Tara and Johnny, because that's a duo is scary. You
Now
just
that we
need to
know that
convince
they're a duo,
one.
but you know how to use it. Like, they're not good at this game. So, like, we use duos like that to our advantage.
Yep.
That is a voting block. We need that.
The way no one played this game. Okay. Anyway,
Yep.
go on.
So then we go to the round table, and Tara and Johnny were really on Rob. Like, they were all in on him.
Was
and
this
then,
where they said to Natalie, they're like, we think it
yes,
was Rob?
they were in
Okay.
that car together, and they were talking about it to and from the challenges. And those are long car rides, I believe. So,
I'm
like,
gonna murder Natalie for this round table. I just want
Natalie
everyone
is
to
like,
know.
I know, this is why I was like, oh, we have really bad faithfuls, obviously. We have nobody actually going against Rob, and nobody knows how to handle a round table, because Natalie, shows up and is like, okay, I was talking to people, it's Rob. You know, like, it's Rob. And Tara and Johnny fall to the background and are like, like, they won't speak up. And if I'm Natalie, I would have been like, fuck you. You know it's Rob. You're not doing anything. That's sketchy behavior by you. Nobody should look at me. I'm actually going after someone, and it is Rob. And if I go home, vote Rob tomorrow.
Natalie was on it, and then she totally, I thought I knew where Natalie was going, and then she totally backtracked, and I was like, oh wait, because at one point, they were talking about how, like, a traitor would need to have a faithful ride or die for them. And I was like, Natalie, look at Rob and call out Maura. And she didn't. Like, Natalie was, like, right there. And then she didn't deliver, because Natalie should have looked at Rob and been like, you have a faithful who's willing to die for you. Because Maura always stood up for Rob, especially this round table. I would have looked and been like, this is a duo. This is dangerous. One of them's definitely a traitor. Rob, have you noticed, never sticks up for Maura, but Mara's always laying her life on the line for Rob. That tells me Rob has way more support than any of us do. And he's going to win this, whether that be as a faithful or a traitor. And we're all not going to be here. So we might as well just get him out.
Yes.
Point blank.
Because again, if you go down with the ship, at least like you have a lasting legacy of look at Rob. If you're going to vote for me, fine. I can't do anything. Vote for him next then. Like, let that be my legacy. The minute you hear faithful, look at Rob.
Yeah. Literally the best thing to do is like, Rob, listen, we are a group of how many? We're all not going to be here. Rob is going to win this, whether that be as a faithful with just Maura, because they're going to turn their backs on the rest of us, or as a traitor and he's going to screw Maura over. So either way, we should get Rob out. It was right there, and she literally walked up to it and turned around, and I was like,
I think one of the disadvantages of the gamers potentially who aren't thinking about traitors, the game, and the difference between theirs is a Big Brother person and a Survivor person. Your only goal is just to keep surviving the votes. Like, it's just not me, especially in Survivor in this new era. It shifts so quickly that your whole goal is just not me tonight. And so I think that that's how Natalie was playing, is not to find the traitors or get the traitors out. It was to just not be banished every night.
I know. And that was wrong.
Yeah.
And you need longevity. And yeah, I think at this point too, everyone's biggest gameplay should be, we're all not going to win.
Correct.
So who has the most numbers? Because that's going to give you as an individual a better chance at winning. Like, I would have looked at Mark in his face and been like, and Eric, even though I know Eric's a traitor, but I would have looked at them and been like, Rob will pick Maura before any of you.
You're the lowest rung on the totem
You're
pole
on the low totem
for
pole,
him.
and he's the one running this game.
We talked about it last season. I don't think we recorded an episode about it, but like, in the end, only 4 people are going to that fire pit, whether it's traitors or faithfuls. So, like, the numbers of faithfuls also do matter. Like, you are not going to the finale. So then you have no shot at winning. So, like, let's get us to the finale. Yes, getting the traitors out is a great idea as well, but, like, let's get to the finale.
Because then we have you can do a final vote to get down to 2. At the end of the fire pit, the least amount of people that can be at that end are 2.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that be 2 faithfuls, a faithful and a traitor, like, there's always going to be 2 at least. So if there's a duo, I'm getting out one person of the duo, because you're not going to take me to the end.
That's a really good point.
So once you get down to 6 people, or 6 or 7 or 8, somewhere in there, that's what you have to start looking at now. It's not about, like,
4.
who has the numbers, because that's the person I want out, because I want to be everyone's number 1.
Yeah.
But it gets to the end like Big Brother. I have to figure out how to be everyone's number 1 to take to the final. Because when it's down to that 3, you want to be picked by both options.
That I need a gamers only season to blow this strategy out.
Because it does change. It goes from, like, just kind of survive and be amongst the numbers to, okay, now we got to get out of the numbers. And I
it
always
goes
find
from
it
not
so
me in the
fascinating.
beginning. The first few banishments, not me, because, like, we are just picking anything. So, like, don't be too loud, don't be, like, too brash, like, do not put any attention on you. Yeah. And then it becomes like, let's get some traitors out, because there are a lot of them that we need to not have 3-4 traitors by the back half of the game. And then the very end of the game is your numbers in, like, trying to suss out that final traitor or 2, but also getting your faithful alliance to that final pit.
Yeah. Yes. This was played so terribly.
Yeah.
By Natalie specifically. But Tara and Johnny fucked themselves over too, because as a duo, you don't want to be noticed as much. So you'd rather get the other duo out, I would think. And then, like, you then have the votes. I don't know. It seemed really dumb. This whole roundtable pissed me off.
Tara said that they went into that roundtable saying that they didn't have the votes for Rob. It was just going to be those 2 and Natalie, and that wasn't the majority. But if the 3 of you come in so
guns
strong
a-blazing,
and powerful, people will sway to your side, and if not, at least you tried. This whole thing of not me is crazy.
That was the thing, is like, okay, you don't have the votes, but you only need 1, because Maura and Rob obviously aren't going to vote for Rob. Eric, though, you don't know, but, like, because we as an audience know he's not going to vote for Rob because he's an idiot. But you have Mark, and Mark Rob yelled at Mark today. He is slightly suspicious. That is enough for you to come in, the 3 of you, guns a-blazing, let's get Rob out, because everyone else who gets out that's not Rob or Maura at this point makes Rob stronger.
Yes.
No, and I can't have that. I need a bunch of weaklings at the end.
The numbers are dwindling. So if Mark, or if Rob has him and Maura, that duo becomes a stronger and stronger percentage of the votes, the, like, less people you have in the group. So it's becoming more and more dangerous. So you're right. Just targeting a duo is worth it. And you could look at, like, Johnny and Tara could look at the group and go, that's a duo, we're a duo. If you get out Rob and we're wrong, you can target us next. Like, again, like, put your life on the line for this. You're going to go down anyways.
Not everyone's gonna win. So you might as well try at this point. And if Eric was smart, he would have jumped on that Rob train right away.
This was the moment Eric really should have turned on Rob.
Yeah. Eric should have been like, what's your thought process on Rob? I'm interested to hear it. And then they should have started going. And if Tara and Johnny had just, Eric would have given you that number. Eric should have given you that number.
Agreed.
Actually, I take back everything I've said about faithfuls and traitors. I'd want to be the recruited traitor.
I would want to be the recruited traitor.
This is the easiest pathway to the end. I know who the traitor is, and all I have to do is campaign for them. Done.
Yeah. My only hope is that there has been some type of evidence prior in the game that I could look towards and be like, that was a moment we should have looked at more. Like the Candace votes and...
I mean, with these people, you could have said Rob sneezed 3 times in a row. That's evidence. With these idiots.
Not with Rob. They needed Rob to be caught in the turret with his cloak on.
There was a traitor. There was Candace literally going, "It's Rob," and they're like, "No way,
no,
she's a liar." I know she was in the turret, but that's so crazy of her to say.
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Where are we next?
Okay, so we get to the finale, and Mark is murdered, and he had to get into a coffin in front of everyone. And my watch party was like, oh! And I was like, guys, one year they buried someone in a coffin.
Yeah, one year
like,
they straight up buried. This is fine. Remember that one? I think it was Jeremy. They made him go in a coffin and then nailed it shut. And I was like, oh, that's crazy.
They set the fire ring up.
I thought they were going to light the coffin on fire. And I was like, that's insane.
With the fire, I was like, I think Mark's out of there by now.
Mark's
but
out
with
of
the
it.
nail in the coffin,
Jeremy was in
person
there.
Was so scared that he was like, whoa.
Jeremy
think he was in there.
Because we had... That's the thing is when Jeremy got the nail in the coffin, there was a camera pointed at him and he was like, oh my God, we never saw Mark in that coffin again. No. I knew as soon as the fire started, Mark was gone.
He's out of there.
That's why I was like, they should light the coffin on fire. That's great. Because Mark's not in there.
I know.
I was like, yeah, it was awesome.
And then we have the final challenge, and this final challenge always pisses me off because we make up all the money we lost throughout the entire season, so the challenges become null and void.
Oh my God, the way if I was Tara and Johnny and Eric in this boat, this is the perfect time to look at Eric and be like, it's Rob.
Yeah, it's a duo. Like, let's tackle the duo.
And I would have said, if you don't vote for Rob, I think it's you. That's what I would have said.
Oh my God.
Right?
No, see, you can't
Eric's
make
an
that,
idiot. Honestly, it's just Eric being an idiot.
Skittish. I understand them thinking only potentially one traitor is left. So... I wouldn't look at Eric and be like, I think it's you. It's just you're right. How can you not want to tackle this duo? You're a solo person. Let's get the duo out.
That's a good fight. Is like, in the end, they're going to screw you.
Yeah.
You're the one that you're a low man on the totem pole to them.
And we are not that type of person. We're not gamers. We're just besties who just like want to ride to the end. Like, we will bring you into this. We're sweet, nice people, and so are you.
Yeah, 100%. And if Eric, that's the thing though, Eric's not smart. If Eric was smart, he would have been like, that's my move.
Eric is like, oh, Rob will drag you to the end. Talk about a lazy traitor.
Here's the other thing. If I'm Eric, I'm thinking I could be the sole traitor and take all the money because they don't think I'm a traitor at all. At all. So let's get Rob out because it's 3 versus 2. And then
Maura's
all I have to do, and then we can get Maura out in that final one. And then I take all the money because these two idiots think I'm a faithful.
Even if the vibe is like, oh, we all think like they're not being cutthroat faithfuls and they all want to split it amongst the 4 of us. Fine.
Eric
because I'll take it all. Yeah.
Oh my God. Eric.
But that's not what happens. Nope. So they do that final challenge. Maura and Rob are in the helicopter, like we said. Everybody else is boots on the ground. They get all this money. Rob has to jump out of the helicopter for the last money. It's like so dumb. I hate these challenges.
I didn't care that much.
But at this point, we now go to the round table. Anybody who gets removed from the game doesn't say what they are. So Johnny gets banished. And I said, once this vote happens, it's over. Like, this game is done. I knew Rob was going to win. It's just, will he win with Eric was the only question out there.
Because this is when Maura started to... Well, Maura before, I think in the helicopter maybe, had been like, I'm suspicious of Eric. Yeah. Right? That's when I knew that Rob was taking all the money because he was going to prove to Maura he's faithful. I knew Rob was leaving with all the money. Because that's, if I'm Rob, that is music to my ears. Because if I can just get it down to the 3 of us, I can just leave with all the money. Like that, and I think that's what gamers see, and I think that's when Rob was like, oh.
I know.
Not only will I win, I will win better. Yeah. And I think it was Maura saying, I'm suspicious of Eric. That then forced Rob to be like, oh, this is this is a door I could walk through.
I think it's that, I don't have to push that hard. Like, she's open to it, so
she's willing to align with me.
I can take advantage of her thoughts already and make this happen. Willing. Because you're right, they were sitting in, like, the kitchen, and he was like, we need to get Tara out. And she was like, only if we can do Eric next. And they were like, that's when they pinky promised.
That's fine with me, baby.
This is it.
Yeah. That's ideal for me, actually. I was going to have to split, but not anymore.
Not anymore. So they do the fire pit, but it's weird because they did it inside this season. At my watch party,
I hated it.
We were like, maybe it's raining.
Oh.
Maybe they can't be outside.
I hated it. I wanted
the weather was really bad that day, if you remember. Like, they were like freezing, and like the helicopter wind made it even worse. Like, they all looked so disheveled.
Put a tarp above us. Let's go outside.
I know. So they go to the round table, and there's a fire pit in the middle of it, and they do the whole like throw the bag in. Are we going to keep going? And they banish Tara, and then they go again and they banish Eric, and he is like,
well, that was it. They banished Tara, and then didn't Eric put in green?
Yes.
And then Maura and Rob both did red. And that's when Eric was like, oh my God. And I was like, you had so many options. You deserve no sense of this money. You deserve nothing, not a penny for you.
I always think the recruited traitor kind of doesn't deserve the money. I understand the OG traitor being like, I've done all the work here. You don't deserve it. That's a person to turn on. Respect on that. So the recruited traitor should always be like, you should turn on me. I've done nothing.
But also, if not for Maura, Eric would have gotten, I think, some of the money. I think Rob just wanted to end it. I think Rob was very genuine about making it to the end with Eric. I think he really did want that. And it was Maura that's like, I don't trust Eric kind of thing.
If Maura had presented it, I agree. I don't think Rob would have risked a lot or pushed a lot.
I don't think so either. However,
the minute the door's wide open, you're doing it. How do you not?
You had thousands of chances to get Rob out.
Yeah.
And you had none of them, so you deserve nothing.
Turned a blind eye to every single one of them and
so
said,
then Eric goes,
I am digmatized by Rob as well.
Everyone was. So Eric goes. Left, and I'm thinking we all knew what was going to happen.
Listen, I said if Rob was going to win, this is the way I wanted it to go down.
This was awesome.
Needed Eric to be pissed. I need Maura to have the biggest shock of her life.
Awesome.
And she did. She reveals she's a faithful. And if I'm sitting at that round table and I know I'm faithful and I'm the first to go, I'm immediately suspicious that you're a traitor. Like, this isn't good. Not happening.
I thought the same thing. As soon as she was like, as soon as they're like, Maura, you go first, I was like, fuck. That would have been me. I would have been like, oh man, I just got got.
Rob says he's a traitor, and Maura has said that she thought he was going to go, I'm joking. So that's why she's like staring at him for so long, like, okay,
because she tried to joke. She was like, I'm so sorry. I'm a faithful. I was like, girl, it gets worse for you.
Just wait. Hold it.
It was bad. And she was like, are you joking? And he's like, no. And she's like, I'm thinking this is really bad for me.
The way she was like, you're never going to get a girlfriend. You're too good at lying.
He's great at lying.
Yeah.
Hey, he's fantastic at it. Yeah.
I mean.
He had all y'all digmatized. That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. No notes. But mostly,
no notes.
Here's the thing. I think Rob played a great game for the cards he was given.
Yeah.
I think his cards were fairly easy.
Correct.
I think it was an easy game of go fish, but he did it flawlessly. I think if you brought Rob back for like an all-star, he's failing.
Well, with the all-stars, everybody knows he's a good gamer now too. So like that is some cover he did have. Like,
that's true.
Him
no
being
one
a Love
knew.
Island person, no one thought he would do this. He kind of was just like, I don't want to say the dumb guy, but like, oh, he's just the Love Island guy.
Hunk, baby.
Yeah, like he's here for the challenges.
Yeah, he's just here to carry my bags, you know?
So I think he could still do good, but I would love to see him strategize against an actual traitor hunter or like somebody who is like really good at the round tables and like trying to figure out who the traitors were. He had no one to go up against.
I would have loved if he was in the turret with like Rob Cesternino. Like Rob would have eaten him for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like,
or even him, like Rob Cesternino as a faithful, like trying to get him out.
Yeah,
just
if Rob had stayed a little longer.
Rob was the traitor, the lead traitor, and the lead traitor hunter. And when you are your own competition, it's gonna be a cakewalk to the end.
I think he played his hand perfectly. I think he didn't have much competition, but he did it.
Correct.
Poor Maura, though, man, that was rough. Well, but she did. Hey, at the same time, you deserve it. Why are we blindly following a man?
You deserve it, but I will give her this. At that, because now we go into the reunion immediately after. At this reunion, I forget who brings it up, but somehow Maura's like getting a Birkin. She got her Birkin.
She got her Birkin.
Like, she got a lot of press over this. Mm-hmm. Like, she is the belle of the ball. Lisa Rinna is the star of the show, and Rob is the best traitor. But like that trio, everybody knows their names if you didn't know them before.
Lisa Rinna killed this reunion, dude. This was, can I say, I was Donna Kelsey. Donna Kelsey was like, I love the housewives. Same. She was giggling watching everyone fight. That was me. I was like, because you could tell people who were not familiar with a good reunion. Rob, let me tell you, boy, you went to one Love Island reunion and that was a terribly done reunion.
Correct.
Andy Cohen has now entered and we have housewives because Lisa and Candace were like, hey man, we're gonna call you out. And even if it did, that's the thing is Rob was like, this doesn't even make sense. I was like, it doesn't have to make sense, baby. As long as she's yelling at you, that's a reunion.
We're the here. Thing. This is about entertainment now. This is no longer about a game.
Yep. I just hate Rob being like, I feel so bad. All the gamers. Remember when Rob.
Say it with your chest.
Remember when Boston Rob at the last reunion was like, I would cut everyone's throat and not even think twice about it. That's if you're going to win the game, that's what I need.
I agree.
But I loved Lisa Rinna yelling at Colton a little. She's like, it was weird you said you were going to hold me hostage. I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was weird. And Colton like didn't really respond. And we had rumors coming out that then Colton stormed off, but then people in like production were like, no, everybody just went to the bathroom together. I wish we got Colton being a fucking baby, but I think they were protecting him because you kind of have to protect that you casted a bad person and you can't own that you made a mistake, so you've got to like not make him worse.
He did a little explanation and then Andy was like, thank you for sharing, and Lisa was like, ugh. Which no, Andy, it was so annoying. I know you were under contract to do that, but I enjoy Andy doing these reunions and being reunited with the housewives. Like he's like, Candace, Lisa, it's been a while. Portia, it's great to see you. Dorinda, how are we? You know, a little hey. I love that. I loved Kristen finally getting her, like, I am a Bravo person. It was nice. She deserved that.
She was like, I was like, I'm one of you. And they're like, who?
And then I liked all the faithfuls having to be like, we're all fucking idiots. I liked Maura being like, I'm dumb. And Rob was like, no, you weren't. And I was like, no, she was. She was. I'm sorry.
And that's okay.
The thing is, what made Maura dumb is she never questioned Rob. Like, I would say Mark was less dumb because he at least had a moment to be like, Rob? Question mark?
Every time Maura said, it's definitely not Rob. Like, that is what makes you dumb. It's not dumb to, like, have a ride or die and want to trust them so much and to choose to go to the finale with them. But I think you should at least be open to, like, could it be Rob? And not when it's the final five.
It was dumb of Tara and Johnny to not question each other. Even though neither of them were a traitor, you still should question. You still should have that. But
that's a red flag as a faith. If I'm another faithful, if you won't question like everyone, this is like I can't work with you.
I think that's because we think more as gamers a little bit more. We are not. I don't want to go up against the gamers ever in my life. I would lose. But I think more like a gamer, where like, even if I know you, we've talked about this, I would question the fuck out of you and we would just agree to make it to the end, whether or not.
That's the thing is like, if one of us were in the turret, it'd be like, I will protect you. I'm not going to vote you out early on because you could be my traitor angel.
I'm your Maura, baby. Yeah. I'm the one you want at the end. But I would never sit at a round table and be like, it's definitely not Meredith 100% because that.
Yeah. Or if somebody brings up your name, I would be like, tell me your evidence. Let me hear it out. Especially as we're getting down to like final 7 and we're losing numbers.
Yeah. Tell me your evidence.
You are a traitor and I am a faithful. And my only way to win money is to get you out. I'm getting you out.
100%. 100%. I do want to talk about really quick. Rob's sister Nino called Jam the worst gamer or like a pretend gamer. Woof. Jam was offended and he should be, but if Rob called me that, I would relook at my cards because I don't think I'm a gamer anymore.
I watched Jam's season of Survivor and he is not a like new era strategist amazing. Him and his 2 other people, because it's in the era of like there's 3 tribes, 6 people on it. His tribe got down to 3 and they like went into a merge and they were able to last, and so like their alliance was able to ride or die it the entire time and all of them get to the end. So like they kind of played an old school game, not like some like masterful strategy thing. They all were kind of like the podunk losers that nobody would get. They're the Tara and Johnny of Survivor in my opinion. Of like, there's bigger fish to fry. And then they just kind of skated to the end.
I was cracking up because I kind of agree with Rob's sister Nino. I didn't watch Jam season, but
you can tell.
Rob is who I trust amongst all gamers. Not in a game.
Not
but
to
like
play. But
outside to learn about gamers, Rob's sister Nino.
Absolutely.
I would be honored if he thought I was any type of gamer if I ever did. If I got like cast in Big Brother and then like got out and Rob was like, she sucks at gaming, I would never survive. Backlash.
I would immediately sign up to go on his podcast and I would be like, how do I get on this podcast as a rotating guest, please?
Yes, 100%. Anyway, overall it was a fine-ish season.
Yeah. Not the
Yeah.
best.
No, not the best. But we did it. And Meredith won. Yay!
Yeah, that's the biggest thing is I won the draft.
She won our draft off of Rob.
I left Maura unscratched, but I had to put a gold thing about Rob. And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, we both were in the end, but this one took it.
I'm tinking. Yeah, as soon as Maura said, I'm going to drop dead if Rob's a traitor, I said, get your casket ready, girl. Get it together.
You
Hope
went into
got
the
a will.
finale with only Maura. I went in with Eric and Rob.
Rob.
And then
I knew
patron had one
was,
person.
Yeah, Tara. They had Tara.
Mm-hmm.
I knew we were dead
were
in
cooked.
the water.
Yeah.
Tara for sure. But yeah, fucking Maura. I'm gonna drop dead if Rob's a traitor.
Bye,
She
bitch.
should be dead right now. Yeah, struck by lightning. Anyway, yeah, it was great. But we'll do more drafts because I think they're fun, but also it kind of makes it hard when I'm rooting. I think this was nice that it was a game and I was able to like take a step back from it. But yeah, do all the things. And with that, love ya.
Thanks for joining. Bye.